Hello guys, I am the Comics Kid 2099 and right now I am weary because it is that time of day where once again DC Comics has done something incredibly stupid. It is, sadly, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say basically every day it seems like this company does something where everyone just slams their head against the wall and screams, why are you doing this? At this point, I seriously think that DC is trying to be controversial just so that people will keep talking about them. But every time I see one of these articles or I hear about something else that they've done, it doesn't make me say, boy, I really want to go and read that comic. Every time I see one of those, it really makes me want to say, I just want to give up on DC altogether. Now, I'm not going to do that, and I will talk a little bit about that at the end of this video. But right now, you may be wondering, what is it that I am talking about right now? What is the specific crime that DC has committed? Recently, it seems like DC Comics has put out an open forum, I guess, an open contest for artists to draw Harley Quinn. They need an artist to draw her. I guess she's going to have an ongoing series soon, and they want to find an artist to draw her, and so they have put out a specific set of guidelines for all of these aspiring artists to draw Harley in specific situations. There are 4 different scenarios where, I poo you not, Harley Quinn is committing suicide. There is one where she is asking the gods to strike her with lightning. There is one where she is covering herself with raw chicken and then surrounding herself with crocodiles. And then this is the one that made this newsworthy, or at least on this site that I am reading this on. And I will go ahead and put a link to this site in the description of this video so that you guys can read this and feel bad for the planet as well. There is a panel where Harley Quinn is sitting naked in a bathtub with a whole bunch of electrical appliances hanging above her head, and she is going to release them and kill herself. Now, apparently, all of these scenarios are actually going to be showing up in the context of a comic book, as this article said, so it's entirely possible that in context these scenes make a lot of sense. I highly doubt it, though. This really does seem like controversy for the sake of it, just like DC seems to be specializing in recently, where they can't just have good stories, they have to really rely heavily on the gimmicks just so that people will still talk about them. But I don't think they realize we're not laughing with them, we are laughing at them. And most of us aren't even laughing, we are almost crying, because this is really pathetic. Now, as I said, I am not going to stop reading DC Comics. I have seen several people, and I don't want to name names, and I'm not calling these people out for making a bad decision. I don't think that there's a right or wrong decision here. I've seen several people say, well, they've gone too far this time. I am not going to read DC Comics anymore. Or they've said that about other things that have happened, not just this. But I don't think that's fair to the creators. I don't think that it's entirely fair to say, well, DC Comics is doing a lot of boneheaded, stupid things, so I'm going to take it out on the people who are getting the money whenever you buy those comics. So, for example, if you don't like what DC Comics is doing with Harley Quinn, or with the new Batwoman comic, or with the guy who walked off Green Lantern because they demanded that he kill Jon Stewart, if you don't like those things, well, you don't like the company, but then it's kind of like you are taking this out on the creators who are on those books, and it's not their fault that they are working for a really terrible company. I don't exactly have a solution here, though. That is kind of the problem. I do realize that the people who are in charge of this company, the ones who are making these decisions, like, hey, you know what, it would be a good idea to send out a submission form where people draw Harley Quinn naked killing herself, those people are not the best people to be in charge of this company. They really do not need to be making these decisions. And yet, I don't know of any way to support the creators and give them our support, because it's not fair to them to say, I'm going to quit DC Comics until they reboot again. That's not fair to them, but at the same time, I don't know of a way to support those creators while still trying to send a message of, hey DC, we don't like what you're doing. The best case scenario is some of these creators are going to be working on other books outside of DC Comics, and you can still buy those books, but not all of these creators are going to be in that position. So some of them I feel like are getting hurt unjustly by the decision of fans to just completely walk away from DC Comics. But at the end of the day, it is their money, and I can't tell them how to spend it. I can't say, hey, you should be buying DC Comics, because let's be honest, there have been a lot of really questionable things that DC has done. In my mind, it really started with the New 52. It was right around then when we started just weekly hearing about all of these really peculiar, controversial things that DC was doing. So I can't tell someone, hey, you should be giving that company more money, because if it makes them that unhappy, then I really don't think they should be giving them money. But I am just going to put this out there. This is why I am not completely walking away from DC. I have still been reading a few of the New 52 books. I am still interested in some of them. Granted, a few of them that I was interested in from the beginning, I read the first volume and it was like, wow, I'm really not going to read any more of this for a very, very long time. So it's entirely possible that 2 years from now, I won't be reading any DC, because they will have driven me away from each title single-handedly, one by one. And if that happens, then that will happen. But I don't want to just leave this entire company wholesale because they've done, admittedly, several stupid things. If I'm going to leave the company, it's because they literally do not have a single book that interests me. And that may happen. It's entirely possible that that will happen. It's even probable that that will happen at the rate that they are going. So, what do you guys think? Is this really, really stupid? Am I overreacting to this, or am I underreacting? Do you think that we should be picking up arms? Do not pick up arms. Even don't pick up weapons. Don't pick up someone else's arm. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. I want to go ahead and say, usually I don't do these kinds of videos where I am reacting to something in the news, because a couple of weeks later that piece of news is going to be outdated and nobody is going to care anymore, and this video, being part of my video collection on this channel, is going to look really dated, and that's okay. I wanted to get my thoughts out there. Also, usually I like to think that I am the kind of guy who doesn't overreact to these kinds of things. But this is not a situation where I can say, well, there's pros and cons to Harley Quinn being naked, killing herself. No, I really don't think there is. I think this is just really stupid, like a lot of other things that DC Comics has done. So this video has gone on about twice as long as I thought it would. Go ahead and let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more, well, the subscribing thing will help you, because you will see more of my videos if you subscribe. And I will be back tomorrow with another kind of video. I will catch you guys then. Have a great day.